Welcome to Hobbs Lady Eagle Basketball on Eagle 100.5, HobbsAmerica.com, and the Lee County News and Sports YouTube channel. Tonight's game is brought to you by Lee County State Bank, Lasco, Divine Energy, Hobbs Express, Thriftway and La Tienda, Master Plumbers, Eunice Pump and Supply, Bel Air Bowl, Cannon Safety, TDS Telecom, the First American Bank of Hobbs, Forest Tire Company, Badger, and NMR. I'm TJ Miracle. Great to have you with us from legendary Ralph Tasker Arena as we get ready for game number 2 of the district slate between the top-ranked Hobbs Lady Eagles and the number 7 Clovis Lady Wildcats. Hobbs coming in at 20-1 on a 20-game win streak and running Roswell High off their own court Tuesday night to open district 85-39. On the other side of the floor, of course, is the Clovis Lady Wildcats. They are number 7 right now in the Max Preps rankings, 18-3 overall on the year and 1-0 in district. They eked out a win in their district opener, 35-34 over Carlsbad on Tuesday night. So should be a top 10 battle, but not sure that this Clovis team has seen anything like these Hobbs Lady Eagles. Looking back to Tuesday night, it was a great team effort for Hobbs. They were led in the scoring department, 5 Lady Eagles, by the way, in double digits, led by Brett Clay. She had 18 points to go along with 8 rebounds. Then you had 15 points in the books for Nakaya Mojica, 15 points for Aliana Armitage, 12 points and 13 rebounds for Kendall Cunningham. And then Madison Zepeda also tossing in 10 points in that big victory. Going down the rest of the list from Tuesday night, Bryn Hargrove with 7 points, had 3 points in the books for Carolina Size, and Caitlin Muniz contributing with 5 points. Hobbs dominating in every phase of that game on Tuesday night, rebounding, free throws, and obviously scoring and turnovers. They forced 31 turnovers on Roswell High, 21 of them in that first half before they kind of took the foot off the gas a little bit on the defensive side of things, but still an impressive performance. Hobbs out-rebounding Roswell High in that game by a whole bunch, 38-23 in the rebounding category. And more importantly, though, they played extremely cleanly in that game. Just 7 fouls in the entire game for the Hobbs Lady Eagles against Roswell. So consequently, the Lady Coyotes Tuesday night didn't get many chances from the free throw line, and they didn't take advantage of them either. They went 0 for 4 in that ball game. Hobbs going 5 of 7 from the stripe. So a dominating performance in the district opener. But I know there are some things that Coach Joey Carpenter is definitely going to work on as they move forward in district, because it does not get any easier from here on out. I know one thing I'm sure they worked on Wednesday, Thursday, and maybe this morning in the shoot-around was covering the outside shooters, as Alana Tarin for Roswell High just absolutely lit the lamp on the Lady Eagles. 27 points, all of them from beyond the arc. Now, I'm not a math whiz, but even I can count. That's 9 3-pointers that they left her wide open for. And this Clovis team, they do have some shooters that are capable of pouring them in if they find the range. So Hobbs going to have to be extremely aware of where those shooters are for this visiting Wildcat team. We'll take a quick timeout, come back, and continue. This is Hobbs Lady Eagle Basketball on Eagle 100.5 and the Lee County News and Sports YouTube channel. Welcome back to your Hobbs Lady Eagle pregame show here on Eagle 100.5, HobbsAmerica.com, and on the Lee County News and Sports YouTube channel. I'm TJ Miracle. Dawn Morgan on assignment tonight. Jonathan Allen running camera. Great to have you with us from legendary Tasker Arena as we get ready for this New Mexico 5A girls top 10 battle between the top-ranked Hobbs Lady Eagles and the number 7 Clovis Lady Wildcats. Of course, we've already got your starting lineups. We'll go ahead and run down them. For the visiting Lady Wildcats of Clovis, their starters tonight will be Mariana Villasecas, number 10, Andrea Chavez Garcia, number 23, Amanda De La Rosa, number 25, Katie Archie, and number 50, Carrington Golf. For your Hobbs Lady Eagles tonight, their starters, it's the starting 5 that I think we've seen all season long. Madison Zepeda, number 4, number 14, Brett Clay, number 15, Nakaya Mojica, number 20, Bryn Hargrove, and number 22, Kendall Cunningham. So those will be your starters on the floor when we get this one underway. Yeah, this game going to start probably a little bit early. The Hobbs Lady Eagles JV running Clovis off the court 64-23 earlier. So congratulations to the Lady Eagles JV. As we mentioned before we took the time out, a couple of Clovis Lady Wildcats, very good in the scoring department. They're averaging 58 points a game. I am going to put a caveat on this, but we'll get there in a minute, as their leading scorer, Amanda De La Rosa, with 11.6. Right behind her, Gianna Cordova, who is not in the starting lineup, but I do see her down there, so expect to see her come off the bench. She's averaging 11.5 a game, and Carrington Goff with just under 10 points a game. So, people to watch out for. They've also got some rebounding power with Goff and Katie Archie, as Archie leading with 7.5 rebounds a game for this Clovis team. One thing about it, I hate to, I'm not going to disparage anybody, but Clovis has not played nearly the kind of schedule that the Hobbs Lady Eagles have. They've played a lot of smaller division schools, which is okay. And when they've faced tougher competition, for the most part, they have not fared real well. Sandia beat Clovis 76-35 back in mid-December, and then Kirtland Central beating this team 67-55. Of course, Hobbs falling to Sandia to start the season by 5 and then beating Kirtland Central. The other loss coming to Volcano Vista. So when they've played the top of the 4 of the 5A, they have had a rough go of it. I mean, they've got a good win over Lovington. Looked like Lovington was going to run away with that game a couple of weeks ago up at Wildcat Gym, but Clovis got hot and they shifted their game plan around, as when it looked like they weren't going to be able to just outplay the Lady Wildcats, they turned on physical mode. It's a Clovis team. That's what they do. The Hobbs Lady Eagles going to have to be prepared for it to get extremely physical, especially if Clovis gets down by, say, 10 or 12 early. Expect things to get a little chippy at times, maybe even more so than you would normally see with a Clovis and Hobbs matchup. But this is a team that can put up some points, although, playing a lot of smaller schools, playing Lovington, Dexter, Robertson, Atrisco Heritage, Goddard, Portales, Highland 4A school, Silver 4A school. They did beat Artesia 70-47, normally a very tough team. Playing a lot of smaller schools. East Mountain, I think, is a 2A or a 3A. Yeah, they beat Eunice early in the year at a tournament. We're not going to go into that. I don't think Clovis should have been allowed in that tournament, but they did. They let them in, and, of course, they won that. So Clovis with a good record, and they're going to be very, very physical, and they are going to come right after the Hobbs Lady Eagles. For Hobbs, if they come out and they play defense like they know they can do, and they trigger the offense off the defense, get the steal, take the fast break, transition out, and get the bucket, they're going to be fine. Hobbs, of course, they will shoot the lights out from anywhere in the gym, and I think every girl on the floor at any given time is capable of shooting the three-pointers. Hobbs is probably going to have to battle a little more tonight than they did on Tuesday on the boards. Even though not an awful lot of size on this Clovis team, they can be very, very physical, and especially with Archie and Goff. Bryn Petner can also get under there and fight pretty good too. It could be a little bit different story on the glass tonight, but if Hobbs just does what Hobbs does and moves on through it, they should be just fine. Now, after tonight, the Lady Eagles with a week off before they head to Carlsbad to take on the Cave Girls to wrap up the first half of district. So when you look at it, both these teams 1-0. The other side of the bracket tonight at 0-1. Winner of this game tonight pretty much controls the district destiny moving forward. Of course, just a 4-team district. You don't get an awful lot of games, just 6 district games and then the district tournament. But you want to be seeded first in the district tournament. That way you go ahead and get the bye all the way into the championship game and you get it at home. And it would sure be nice to have another one right here at the friendly confines of Tasker Arena. Other games going on tonight involving Lee County teams. The Lovington Lady Wildcats and Lovington Wildcats taking on Artesia at Wildcat Gym in Lovington. My partner in crime, Don Morgan, with the coverage on that on the Lovington Sports YouTube channel. Also on the Lovington tab at HobbsAmerica.com. The Jowl Panthers tonight are in action. They are up in Texaco taking on the Wolverines, Panthers and Lady Panthers. Ron Gunter with the call. The girls' game's already underway. Jowl Sports YouTube and HobbsAmerica.com. And, of course, up in Clovis tonight, Ty Friend is live at the Rock as the Hobbs boys look to keep their run moving. They take on the Clovis boys, and that's always a street fight. That's on our sister station, Cool 95.7, and also on the Hobbs tab at HobbsAmerica.com. But thank you for being with us tonight as the Hobbs Lady Eagles have left the floor. Clovis still out warming up. While we have a moment, I'd like to say a big thank you to all the good folks who make Hobbs Lady Eagle basketball possible here on Eagle 100.5, and I think we just blew a fuse or something, or if somebody turned off my lights, I'm going to be extremely upset. But so was going to say thanks to our sponsors, so I guess I'll get the flashlight out on the cell phone as they run the sizzle reel. I didn't think they were supposed to be able to turn off the emergency lighting, but I guess they didn't get that message. But a big thanks to our friends at Lee County State Bank, Lasco, Divine Energy, Hobbs Express, Thriftway and La Tienda, Master Plumbers, Eunice Pump and Supply, Bel Air Bowl, Cannon Safety, TDS Telecom, First American Bank of Hobbs, Forest Tire Company, Badger Services, and an MR Pipeline. They make it possible for us to bring you these games and video stream them. Never have to charge you like unfortunately more and more places are doing. Even radio stations, we don't agree with that. We don't like it, but that's why we don't do it. And we never have to beg you for donations either. So it's because of those great sponsors who make that possible. And also a big thanks to folks who provide us some other assistance, including Ampersand Media and Design, Zamora's Car Care, and the Model inside the Broadmoor Mall. Of course, all of them proud supporters of the Lady Eagles, and you see all those logos there at the bottom of your screen if you're watching on Lee County News and Sports YouTube or HobbsAmerica.com. Be sure you do business with those folks because they make it possible for us to do this, and thank them by taking advantage of our great local businesses. As the teams prepare to come out onto the court for the national anthem and the introduction, we will take a timeout, come back, and tip this one off. It's Hobbs Lady Eagle basketball on Eagle 100.5, Lee County News and Sports YouTube, and HobbsAmerica.com. And welcome back to Hobbs Lady Eagle Basketball here on Eagle 100.5, Lee County News and Sports YouTube, and on HobbsAmerica.com. I'm TJ Miracle, Jonathan Allen running camera tonight, Evie Stuber keeping an eye and an ear on things, engineering and producing. Back at Eagle Central in the Eagles Nest, the visiting Clovis Lady Wildcats will be wearing their road purples with silver letters and numbers. And Clovis on the front for the Hobbs Lady Eagles. They are in the home whites with the black letters and numbers, the gold trim, and Eagles on the front. Your starters once again for the Clovis Lady Wildcats will be number 3, Mariana Villasecas, number 10, Andrea Chavez Garcia, number 23, Amanda De La Rosa, number 25, Katie Archie, and number 50, Carrington Goff. The rest of their lineup coming off the bench, number 2, Gianna Cordova, number 5, Jerea Dawson, number 15, Maricela Dominguez, number 22, Cameron Morales, number 30, McKenna Weaver, number 33, Amaya Bespid, and number 40, Bryn Petner. Expect to see Cordova and Petner with a lot of time off of the bench tonight and logging the minutes. Your starters again for your Hobbs Lady Eagles: number 4, Madison Zapata, number 14, Brett Clay, number 15, Nakaya Mojica, number 20, Bryn Hargrove. Quick note on Bryn, she set the all-time Hobbs Lady Eagles steals record in the first half against Roswell, so another one to put in Bryn's trophy case. And the final starter tonight, number 22, Kendall Cunningham. The rest of your Hobbs Lady Eagle lineup: number 10, Addison Everhart, number 12, Aliana Armitage, number 23, Corelli Rivera, number 24, Carolina Size, number 30, Areli Navarro, number 33, Caselin Muniz, number 34, Alana Bolton, and number 52, Katie Godwin. So wherever you are around Lee County, West Texas, and the world tonight, welcome to world-famous Tasker Arena. The Hobbs Lady Eagles play here on KEJL, Humble City Hobbs, K263AZ Hobbs, Eagle 100.5, the Lee County News and Sports YouTube channel, and on HobbsAmerica.com. The Lady Eagles under head coach Joey Carpenter, 20-1 on the year, but more importantly, 1-0 in district, taking on Coach Jeff Reed's Clovis Lady Wildcats, 18-3. They are also 1-0 in district. Winner of tonight's game will definitely have the inside track to winning the regular season district title, as it'll be Goff taking the jump against Kendall Cunningham, and we are ready to go from Tasker Arena tonight at straight up 8 o'clock, right on time. And the opening tip will be controlled by Clovis. It'll be De La Rosa taking it into the front court. She'll push it over to Villasecas. Villasecas cycles around, as that'll be Hargrove who picks her up quickly, tossing it over to the far side to Garcia. Now backside to De La Rosa, over to Villasecas, working the right wing, tries to throw it inside and right into the hands of Kendall Cunningham. Kendall gets around Goff, turns on the Jets, brings it up the right side of the court, into the deep right corner. Now out to the wing is Clay, to the post, now around, into the corner. Hargrove makes a nifty little step, goes over to the left wing, puts up the shot, no good, and off the tip, it'll be Clay with the rebound. Hobbs will reset. Off the turnover, the Lady Eagles then get the offensive board. To Zapata, handed off to Hargrove. Hargrove, the little stutter step, tosses into the deep left corner. Mojica for 3, and bang! Nakaya Mojica starts the scoring for the Hobbs Lady Eagles and drains the tray. They will steal the inbound with Mojica. She'll pull up from 5 and put it up and in on the steal. Mojica, 5 quick points, and the Hobbs Lady Eagles off and running. 1 minute gone in this one. Throwing the fastball down, Villasecas has to pull up in the right block, tossing it to the free throw line with Goff. Now over to De La Rosa for 3. That one is off the mark, off of the tip. Chasing it down is Mojica. Nakaya tracking it down in the deep left corner. Now back the other way into the deep right corner. Works it over to Clay, to Mojica, to Hargrove. Hargrove trying to throw it back door to Cunningham. Cunningham was coming up the baseline, threw it out a little bit. First turnover for the Lady Eagles, but a 5-0 run to start the game. 90 seconds have elapsed here in the first. Off the inbound, full court pressure on, and the fastball to Goff, has trouble holding it, and it'll be swatted away by none other than the Hobbs all-time steals leader, Bryn Hargrove, as Bryn will take it up in front of the scorer's table to Mojica, top of the arc. Work it around to Clay. Clay just in front of the free throw line to Zapata, back to Clay. Takes it to the block, and they're going to say she slid the foot. And so a turnover for the Lady Eagles. A little bit sloppy there. Coach Joey Carpenter not happy. He's telling them, remember what you got to do, and remember you got to move. As Aliana Armitage, the 6th woman for this Hobbs Lady Eagles team, comes in early in the game. As Archie looks to inbound, it does right at the 5 count. Will get it into De La Rosa, pushes it to Goff, then comes near side to Garcia. That's Villasecas. Villasecas controls it, works it to the free throw line. Now no look pass into the right block. Garcia puts up the 12-footer, and it is up and good, and Clovis is on the board. 5-2, Hobbs a 3-point lead, 2 minutes gone. To Mojica, top of the arc to Hargrove. Pushing it high to Cunningham. She'll take it on the left baseline. Now out to Mojica, left corner for three. That one is off the mark, but it'll be Brett Clay with the rebound, and then she gets pushed from behind. As I think De La Rosa getting the worst of that one, and they are going to call it on De La Rosa. That'll be her first personal. First team foul on Clovis. Hobbs basketball still in their end. From the left of the bucket, Mojica will push it into Armitage. Armitage to the free throw line. Turnaround jumper from 15. Rattles around. Won't fall in. The rebound going to be brought away by De La Rosa. Clovis brings it back running. Well, tried to, and then almost losing the basketball. As Hargrove tries to pick the pocket, and they are going to call a travel on Archie, who throws her hands up in exasperation. Fourth turnover for Clovis. Hobbs a little bit off on the offensive side themselves, but still with the 5-2 lead. 5.5 minutes remaining here in the first. Hargrove with the jump stop. Cycles it around to Clay to Armitage. Armitage working against De La Rosa. Now they'll get it to Hargrove. Hargrove to Mojica, top of the arc. Tossing it back to Brand in the left wing. Moves it around with Archie on her. Now to Mojica, right corner for three. That one's on the way, and bang! Nakaya Mojica, all 8 of the Hobbs Lady Eagles points early, and Hobbs back up by 6. On the push in, Armitage knocks that one away from Chavez Garcia and out into the crowd. It'll stay Clovis basketball. Hobbs going to stay in the press. 3 minutes have elapsed here in the first. 8-2. Hobbs in the lead as Archie will push it into Goff. And Goff will just get it right back to Archie, who then gives it to Chavez Garcia. She'll toss it to Villaseca across the timeline in front of the scorers table. Hargrove on her tight, trying to get it to De La Rosa. All over her. She'll just turn around and pull the trigger on an NBA level 3, and it'll be Cunningham with the rebound. As Kendall turns on the Jets, she'll take it herself. Bouncing it to Armitage, coming up the right side and up and into Aliana. The assist for Cunningham and then up for Armitage. And 10-2, Hobbs in the lead. 4:29 remaining here in the first. A 10-2 run to start the game. About what Hobbs would want. A couple of turnovers. The fastball to Goff. She can't handle it, and it's into the hands of Brett Clay. Brett pushing it forward to Armitage. Now over to Hargrove. Right wing, 3 on the way. That one is off the mark, and it'll be Armitage who gets the rebound. To Mojica. Cycles around. Now tossing to Hargrove. Now to Cunningham, right base, turnaround from 10. That one not going to fall. Fight for the rebound. They're going to call jump ball, and it'll stay Hobbs basketball as Cunningham and De La Rosa battle. So you're going to have Dawson check in for Clovis, and you're going to have Muniz check in for Hobbs. 10-2, Hobbs in the lead. 3:59 to go here in the first. Hobbs basketball. Working their own offensive end. The high inlet pass coming to Cunningham. That one is swatted away and into the hands of Dawson. And then it's just absolutely ripped away from her by Armitage. 6th turnover for Clovis. Muniz. Mojica, right corner for 3. That one is off the mark, and it'll be Archie with the rebound. That'll be her first. Hobbs trying to trap her up in the backfield to Dawson. Cycles it around, gets it to Garcia. Crosses the timeline, weaving through traffic. Over to Villaseca. Getting to her quickly was Mojica, and then a bad pass right into the hands of Brett Clay. Clay to a breaking Muniz, who gets fouled from behind as Villaseca will strip her out. First personal on Villaseca, second team foul on Clovis, and Hobbs will head to the line for the first time tonight in the form of Caselin Muniz. So Muniz will head to the line. Her first trip to the stripe, and her first shot is up, and nothing but the bottom of the net. So a 9-point Hobbs Lady Eagle lead, 3:25 to go here in the first. As Clay checks out, Madison Zepeda back in. Zepeda, Cunningham, Muniz, Armitage, and Mojica. Second on the way for Muniz. That one is in and out. That one is no good, and it'll be Goff with the rebound. That'll be her first. 11-2, though, Hobbs in the lead as going to have an offensive foul. Wow. Yep, they called the offensive foul on Chavez Garcia. So that'll be her first personal as Zepeda goes sliding on the floor. That'll be the 8th turnover for Clovis. Hobbs needs to capitalize on these. Only managed to cash in a couple of them so far, and they forced 8 of them. They do have a 9-point lead, though. So it'll be Armitage. She'll work against Villasequez. And out to Muniz, then into the corner to Zepeda. Zepeda with the little head fake cycles around back to Muniz. Muniz going to direct traffic. Inside to Cunningham in the right block. Now back out to Zepeda. The little head fake takes it up the baseline. The reverse layup. That one is high off the glass, won't fall. And Archie and Goff fighting each other for the rebound. It's out. It'll stay Hobbs basketball. Hobbs has had a little trouble getting penetration against a very physical Clovis team. To the free throw line, Zepeda. That one is partially blocked and will wind up in the hands of Clovis. Dawson will just have to retreat to the corner, gets it as it goes to Archie. Ball loose on the floor, and it'll go out of bounds before Hobbs can get to it. It'll stay Clovis basketball, and it'll be Coach Jeff Reed. Did he take the timeout? I believe he did. No, he's asking the refs. He thought there should be a foul there, so we're just going to have subs come in. Brett Clay back into the ball game. Bryn Hargrove back in. Carolina Size seeing her first action. So 3 new Lady Eagles on the floor. Some fresh legs in as Archie to inbound from in front of the home section across the way. Gets it into Chavez Garcia. Picks up her dribble. Throws the fastball. It is loose on the court. Getting to it is Hargrove, and that'll force the 9th turnover to Clay. Picks up the dribble, throws the fastball to Size at the free throw line, down to the left wing. Hargrove for 3, that one up, no good, and it'll be Goff out fighting everybody underneath for her second board of the ball game. 11-2, a 9-point Hobbs lead as they've gone a little bit cold. Fortunately, the defense has not. To Dawson, bounce it back to Villasequez. Villasequez using up the dribble, and then she traveled under intense pressure from Size and Muniz. That is the 10th turnover for Clovis. And it comes right at the 2 minutes remaining here in the first. 9-point Hobbs Lady Eagle lead. Hargrove to the front court. We'll give it off to Zepeda. Now flip it to Clay at the free throw line. Now to Size, WNBA 3 left wing. That's an air ball. And tracking it down, though, will be Hargrove. And then she gets pushed from behind. No call on that. And it pushes Brent out of bounds. That'll be the 5th turnover for Hobbs. So things just a little bit out of sorts as Joey Carpenter with the hands in the pockets, just kind of shaking his head a little bit down there. Bryn Petner checking in for the Lady Wildcats. Push in will come to De La Rosa. On her tight is Hargrove, and they're going to get Hargrove for the foul on De La Rosa. Just caught a little arm there. Thought she had it clean, but caught a little arm. So that'll be the first personal on Hargrove. First team foul on Hobbs. Oh, they called that on Muniz, not on Hargrove. So we'll put it on Muniz, her first personal. Clovis basketball as Archie will get it in right at the 5 count to Petner in the backcourt. Picks up the dribble, will get it over to Chavez Garcia, who takes it across the timeline. Pardon me, that's Cordova. Cordova almost loses it into the hands of De La Rosa. Cycles to the top of the arc and then throws that one all the way through and all the way almost out of Tasker Arena. Clovis having trouble with Hobbs' defense. 11 turnovers, but Hobbs has not been able to capitalize on 9 of those. Hargrove will hand it off to Muniz. Petner on her tight. Looking for some room. She'll just have to reset it to Clay. To the near side to Zepeda. Zepeda slinging it over to Muniz. Petner gets to her quickly. Now back to Zepeda. Long cross-court pass to Muniz for 3. Too hard off the glass, and it'll be Archie with the rebound, her second. Rebounding battle very close here as into the front court with Cordova. Picking her up is Muniz, throwing it in, and Brett Clay just saying, I'll take that, thank you very much. Breaking down the court, right side of the lane, off the glass and up and in. And the first bucket of the game for Brett Clay. So Hobbs cashing in on the 13th Clovis turnover on the inbound. Petner gets it under intense pressure from Hargrove to Cordova. She'll take it in, then to Dawson in front of the student section. Back to Petner with 30 seconds remaining here in the first. Now into the deep left corner, Cordova for 3. That one is off the mark. Battle for the rebound, and they're going to give the rebound to De La Rosa, her second, and they are going to foul on Muniz. That'll be her second personal. Second team foul on Hobbs is a floor foul, so Dawson will go in front of the Hobbs bench to inbound it just right of the bucket. Pushes it in at about 4.5 and right into the hands of none other than Zepeda, who gets it to Clay. She took it up the right last time, takes it to the left this time, and up and in for Brett Clay. 15-2 for the Lady Eagles. 10 seconds to go to Petner. Still in the backcourt. Will push it forward to De La Rosa. Size gets to her quickly, and then they are going to call the push foul on Hobbs. I think they're going to get Hargrove coming up the backside on her. Well, I think they're going to call it on Carolina Size. I thought Carolina had her feet set, but it's not the way the man in the stripe saw it. So De La Rosa at the line, and she drains the first one. Stops a long scoring drought for the Lady Wildcats. As checking into the ball game will be Bespid. Comes in for Archie. So De La Rosa at the line, misses the second one, and it'll be Brett Clay with the rebound, her third. Brett at the buzzer tosses it down, and we have played a quarter here at Tasker Arena. Hobbs 15, Clovis 3. We'll be back in 1 minute as Lady Eagle basketball continues on Eagle 100.5. Back here at Tasker Arena, getting ready for the start of the second quarter. The Lady Eagles leading Clovis 15-3. I'm TJ Miracle, Jonathan Allen running camera tonight. Evie Stuber in studio engineering and producing. Lady Eagles forcing 14 Clovis turnovers in that first quarter, but only able to capitalize on 4 of them. Something they're going to have to improve on. This is a Clovis team that is not going to go away. Clovis basketball, as we started off, it'll be Chavez Garcia. The starters in for both teams, and then it'll be De La Rosa top of the arc for 3. They left her open, and she took it. So De La Rosa, if she can find the range, she can be dangerous. Clovis draws first blood, 15-6, 9-point Lady Eagle lead. Armitage to Mojica. Mojica to Hargrove, thinks about the 3 as Archie gets to her quickly. Now back over to Armitage. Back out Mojica, top of the arc. 3 on the way, and bang for Nakaya. She's got 11 in the ball game, and Hobbs back up by 12. Clovis with the 3, Hobbs immediately answering. Armitage will steal away the basketball on the inbound, and then she'll get knocked to the floor for trouble. I think they're going to get Goff on that one. And they're going to get Archie on that one. They were both in the neighborhood. So Archie, that'll be her first personal. Think this may be the point in the game where you see Clovis turn up the physicality, which they definitely can do. Mojica into Clay. Top of the arc, her 3 ball is off the mark. Fighting for the rebound. De La Rosa will wind up with it and then push it over to Archie, who immediately tosses out to Villaseca. Gets a little screen from De La Rosa, but still trapped in the backcourt. Now gets it up in front of Taskovich. Gives it over to Garcia. Garcia to De La Rosa. Now to Villaseca from the left side for 3. That one up no good. Cunningham will have her 3rd board of the ball game. Kendall will just run it herself, pushing it to Hargrove. From the left corner, 3 on the way. That one off the mark, but it's Cunningham winding through, getting the rebound and putting the bucket in. 14 points, biggest lead of the game for the Lady Eagles. De La Rosa almost losing it. Goff will push it forward to Villaseca, who gives it back to Goff at the free throw line. She'll turn around from 15 from there. Shot up, no good, and the rebound going to be brought down by Garcia. Garcia to Goff from the right block. Shot up, no good, and it'll be Archie with the rebound, and then a whistle sounds as they call jump ball. Good job by Clay to tie up Archie, and it'll be Lady Eagle basketball on the 16th Clovis turnover. Clay, Hargrove, Mojica, Cunningham, and Armitage on the floor for Hobbs. Armitage on the right wing, now back out top of the arc. Work it around to Mojica, thinks about the WNBA distance 3, thinks better of it. Hobbs up by 14 to Clay in the left elbow, tossing it over to Mojica, who can't control it, and that one off the mark. Hobbs has been the Lady Eagles' normally pinpoint, extremely crisp passing has been a bit off the mark tonight. Over Armitage and into the hands of Villasecas on the inbound. To Chavez Garcia, she'll take it herself, and Nakaya Mojica says, no, I'll just take it, thanks. Now the ball is loose on the court as De La Rosa supermanning out. Now over to Armitage, right corner for three. Aliana with the air ball, and it'll come into the hands of Carrington Goff. That'll be her third board. Hobbs on her very tight, though. They find De La Rosa. She finds a little daylight, brings it back into the front court, takes it to the right base, tries to reverse layup, and is blocked by Cunningham. Back down to Clay. Clay bounced past to Hargrove and swatting that one away to Villasecas. Don't think Clay saw her coming up behind her playing trailer as Carolina Size will check in. Reinforcements coming in for Clovis, too. Size in for Hargrove. And you've got Gianna Cordova and Bryn Petner coming in for Clovis. Mojica to inbound, left of her own bucket. Push it into Armitage, back to Mojica in the left corner. 3-ball on the way. That one is off the mark, and De La Rosa will have her fourth board of the ball game. Pushing it forward to Cordova. Cordova from 16 on the right wing. Up no good, and it'll be Cunningham with her fifth board of the ball game. Kendall keeps it herself, goes against De La Rosa. She'll just pull up from the right block. Shot up, no good. Ball tipped and loose in the air, and Carolina Size will come away with it at the timeline. Carolina to the left block. That one's up no good, and it'll be Armitage with another rebound. Mojica, then they'll get it into the block with Cunningham. Back to Mojica. Going to try the right corner this time, and bang! Nakaya Mojica, her fourth tray of the ball game. 23-6, Lady Eagles in the lead. De La Rosa, top of the arc. She'll put up a rainbow three, no good, and Cunningham will have another rebound, her sixth. To Mojica in the front court to Clay. Clay drives in, steps around to Clovis. Lady Wildcat, her shot up, no good, and it will be a rebound by De La Rosa, and then she's fouled. We're going to call that on Armitage, her first personal. First team foul on Hobbs. And De La Rosa cleaning the board. She's got 5 as Caitlin Muniz will come in for Armitage. 4:26 remaining in the first half. Hobbs up 23-6. They'll get it to Petner. She gets around Size. She'll just take it herself through the right lane. Shot up, no good, and the rebound going to be brought down by Cordova. Her first board, her first bucket. 23-8. Lady Eagles in control. To Muniz, NBA distance 3 from the left wing. That one goes over the backboard and out. It'll go over to Clovis. Hobbs uncharacteristically a little bit slow. The defense is playing well. They forced 18 turnovers. Full court pressure is on. Petner to Villasecas as Mojica picks her up as she uses up the dribble. Now to Petner, who takes it across the timeline in front of Tasker. From the right to the right, I should say, to Cordova. Now to Petner. Petner will take it into the right lane. Her shot is up, no good. Archie fights with Size for it. Clovis touching it last. It'll be Lady Eagle basketball. Carolina will push it into Mojica, who looks over as Carpenter tells her what he wants to do. To Muniz. 1-2-2 zone look for Clovis. They're moving around. Get it to Clay. She's pushed out. Now Mojica top of the arc. And bang again. 5 trays for Mojica. You leave Nakaya that open, and they have left her open all night. She is going to take that shot every single time as Petner slides to a stop as she crosses the timeline. 19 turnovers for Clovis. As Hargrove will check in as Mojica will take a deep breath. She's got 17 points of the 26 on the board for Hobbs. So even without that, though, Hobbs leads 9-8, but with it, they lead 26-8. Carolina Size to Bryn Hargrove. She'll pull the NBA distance 3 from the right wing. No good. Rebound by Muniz. That'll be her first. To Clay. Her turnaround from the high post is no good, but it'll be Cunningham with the rebound. Her putback is no good. And finally, Clovis will come away with it. Cordova to the front court. To Dawson. Muniz on her tight. Uses up the dribble. Pushes back to Cordova. 2:50 remaining here in the first half. 26-8, Hobbs in the lead, and off the tip into the hands of Clay. Hobbs forcing another turnover. Clay to Hargrove, misses another one, but it's Clay there with the rebound. The putback, it won't fall, but she's going to be fouled by Dawson. Clay now with 4 boards, and she'll head to the line as Nakaya Mojica waits to check back in. Well, they called that on Petner. I thought it was going to be on Dawson. So Clay at the line with 4 points, 4 boards, and make it 5 points. So now 27-8. Hobbs stretches it up to 19, their biggest lead of the ball game, as Mojica comes in for, that is Cunningham heading to the bench. So Clay at the line, made the first. Eyes the second, gets them both to fall. But now Hobbs up by 20, 28-8. You know, the offense may not be where they want it tonight. The defense has played extremely well. To Weaver, who just checked in. She's having problems, almost loses the basketball, and she will, trying to find De La Rosa. Feed it forward to a breaking Muniz, and then Weaver coming from behind, swats it away from Muniz. It'll stay Lady Eagle basketball. Mojica to inbound it in front of the Clovis bench. Throws it into Size. Carolina gives it to Clay, back to Size. Now over to Muniz. Left corner, 3. That one's going to be short, and it'll be Petner with the rebound. That'll be her first. Clovis back the other way with Weaver. Weaver goes up against Clay, tries to find some room, puts up a shot, no good. And it'll be a rebound for Size, her second. And Carolina airmails it, trying to get Muniz or Clay. They were both heading down, but just a little over the heads. 7th turnover for Hobbs. So Archie will check in. Actually, Archie will check in to inbound it. Also coming into the game will be Morales. So get it over to Garcia. She'll cross the timeline as Cunningham waits to check back in. 2 minutes to go here in the first half. De La Rosa to Morales. Morales from the right wing, 3 on the way. That one is off the mark, and a long rebound going to be brought down by De La Rosa, her 6th. She'll pull the trigger from about 10. Shot up, no good. Archie with the rebound. She's fouled, and she'll head to the line. 4 rebounds for Katie Archie. As the physicality on the boards coming out just a little bit for Clovis, and so Archie heads to the line to shoot 2. With 1:49 to go here in the first half, and Archie will miss the first. So Archie missing the first as Size checks out, and checking in will be Cunningham. Cunningham and Clay in the front blocks. Mojica and Hargrove behind them as the second one is up. That one is no good. Around the tips and into the hands of Cunningham, her 8th board of the first half. Cunningham to the front court. She'll just take it herself. Puts up a wild shot, no good, but she's fouled. Kendall will head to the line for 2. See who they call that on. Is it going to be on Archie? I thought that it might have been. So that'll be her second personal, 3rd team foul, and Cunningham goes to the line. First up for Cunningham, and it is good. So now 29-8 in favor of the Hobbs Lady Eagles.
Checking into the game for the Lady Cats, number 3, Mariana Viesquez.
Viesquez will come back into the ball game. She'll come in for Archie. Cunningham at the line, made the first. She will eye the second. On the way for Kendall, and rattles them home. She's got 4 points in the ball game. So now 30-8, 22 points up as the Lady Eagles almost stealing that one away. Garcia somehow controls it, still trapped up in the backcourt. To Morales, finds De La Rosa, a little behind the back pass to Viesquez. She'll come in front of Taskovich in the Hobbs student section. Back to Morales with 90 seconds remaining here in the first. Getting it inside to Weaver. Her shot is going to be up, no good, and fighting for it. Nobody able to control the rebound. Last touch by Clay. It'll stay Clovis basketball, and they're into the floor. On the inbound, it'll come in to Viesquez. She moves through, goes into the paint, puts up the little underhand scoop, no good. And the rebound going to be controlled by Weaver, who got it after a little bit of a bobble by Mojica, and then she's fouled. That'll put Weaver at the line. Aliana Armitage waiting to check in. They're going to call that on Cunningham. That'll be her first personal, just the 2nd team foul on Hobbs. So Weaver at the line. Trying to break a long scoring drought for Clovis, and she will. 30-9, a 21-point lead for the Lady Eagles. Second coming up for Weaver. She will toe the line. put up the shot, and that one is off the mark, and it'll be Clay with the rebound, her fifth. Brent will keep it herself, brings it into the front court. Over to Zepeda, back to Clay in the right block, and then De La Rosa picks her pocket, but they call a floor foul. Yeah, I think they may have the Boo Birds in purple may have something on that one. They're going to call that one on De La Rosa, her second personal. Fourth team foul. It is on the floor. Hargrove will push it into Zepeda, top of the arc. Jumper for three, and bang! Madison Zepeda makes it 33-9. Hobbs stretches it out as we click under a minute to go in the first half. Morales takes it into the front court, weaves through traffic. Lady Eagles all over. Somehow finds a way to keep up with the basketball. Then that one will be popped, and another turnover for Clovis. Hargrove brings it back down to Cunningham, to Zepeda, to Hargrove, right wing, three on the way. That one is off the mark, and it'll go out, and they're going to say last touched by Hobbs. I think that one was last touched by Clovis, but all right. Hargrove is not afraid to keep taking the shot. She's been a little bit off here in the first half. As Goff will come back in for Weaver with 33 seconds to go in the first half. To Morales, back to Goff, to Petner. Gets around Hargrove, bouncing it underneath to Garcia, partially blocked from behind by Cunningham, and Clay will rip down the board, but then gets tied up by Garcia. It'll stay Clovis ball. So Clovis wins the tie-up as Goff will come over to inbound it from left of her own bucket on the baseline. So she'll flip it in to Garcia. Working it around to Morales with 20 seconds to go. Morales backing it up between the rings. Now she'll take it over. Back to Chavez Garcia. Garcia with Zepeda covering her. 10 seconds to go. Working around. Back to Morales in front of Taskovich with 7. Toss it into Garcia. Used up the dribble. Now back to Morales. Morales to the free throw line. 15-footer up, no good. And at the buzzer, Brett Clay will come down with the rebound. We have played a half here at Tasker Arena. Hobbs Lady Eagles lead the Clovis Lady Wildcats by a score of 33-9. We'll take a 3-minute timeout, come back and run down the first half. Hobbs Lady Eagle basketball continues in a moment on Eagle 100.5, Lee County News and Sports YouTube, and HobbsAmerica.com. And welcome back to Hobbs Lady Eagle Basketball here on Eagle 100.5, Lee County News and Sports YouTube and HobbsAmerica.com. I'm TJ Miracle, Evie Stuber in studio engineering and producing, Jonathan Allen running our camera tonight. Our halftime score, Hobbs 33, Clovis 9. Well, how did we get here? Well, let's take a look at the numbers in the first half. Leading scorer right now for Clovis is Amanda De La Rosa. She's got 4 points. She's also their leading rebounder. She has 6 boards in the first half. Then you got 2 points for Andrea Chavez Garcia, 2 points for Gianna Cordova, and then 1 point for McKenna Weaver. That's the scoring. That's it for Clovis. They went 2 of 6 from the free throw line, so they missed some opportunities there. They did have 18 rebounds in the first half, very even in that category. We'll talk about it in a second, but they did turn the ball over 22 times. Now then, you were thinking, wait a minute, Hobbs forced 22 turnovers and they've only got 33 points. Yeah, they've been a little cold in the first half. Well, I say they have been. Nakaya Mojica has not been. Mojica leads the Lady Eagles and leads everybody. 17 points in the first half, 5 trays for Mojica. Then you got 6 points in the books for Brett Clay, 3 points Madison Zepeda, 2 points for Eliana Armitage, and 4 points for Kendall Cunningham, and then a point for Caselyn Muniz. Leading rebounder is Cunningham. She has 8. Brett Clay was 6 in that first half. 21 rebounds in the first half for the Hobbs Lady Eagles. So did okay there. They only turned the ball over 7 times, go 5 of 6 from the free throw line. Got 15 in the first, 18 in the second. That's how they get to their 33. I mean, you're up by 24 points. Not a lot you could complain about, but if you forced 22 turnovers, they have only cashed in on maybe 5 of them. Very un-Hobbs-like on the offensive in the transition end. My guess is Coach Carpenter and the staff are probably having some discussions about finishing out their shots and making sure that they go down. Now, one thing about Hobbs, even if they come out and are a little bit cold, a little bit off, they will keep looking for the open girl. They will keep taking the shots. They will keep driving the lane. They'll keep going down the baseline. And eventually they're going to catch, and when they do, all of a sudden this 24-point lead could get stretched out in an awful big hurry. They've done a better job here in the first half of keeping an eye on Clovis's shooters. Just 1 3-pointer, that from Amanda De La Rosa. She only had about 2, maybe 3 looks from 3, and only a couple other girls making attempts at it. And so Hobbs has done a much better job defending the perimeter. And, of course, doing a good job inside, too, keeping them out of the paint, keeping them out of the lanes, and forcing Clovis maybe to make some shots that they really have been lower probability of going in. So the defense is what has really triggered Hobbs up to this 24-point lead at this point. Let's see if the offense can catch up in the second half. Other scores from around Lee County action tonight up in Lovington on Lovington Sports YouTube. The Lovington Lady Cats fell to Artesia in their district opener 41-37. A hard-fought game for the Lady Cats, but they fall. The Jowl Lady Panthers up in Texaco tonight on the Jowl Sports YouTube channel, and they fell to Texaco 56-20. When I looked a couple of minutes ago, the Lovington boys were in action, and they were trailing Artesia late in the first half of that one. Of course, the Hobbs boys tonight are in action up in Clovis at Rock Stabish Gym, where we'll be with the girls here in just a couple of weeks. That game, let me see if I can get to that quickly. Of course, it's on our sister station, Cool 95.7 on the Hobbs Sports YouTube channel. As just underway in that one, still fairly early. Clovis with the early 7-5 lead over Hobbs up in Clovis. But no such problems for the Hobbs Lady Eagles in this one. They lead this one 33-9 at halftime. The Lady Eagles back out warming up, so we'll take a timeout, come back, and tip off the second half. It's Hobbs Lady Eagle basketball here on Eagle 100.5. Back here at Tasker Arena, getting ready for the start of the second half of this one between the number 1 Hobbs Lady Eagles and the number 7 Clovis Lady Wildcats. Hobbs leading this one 33-9. I'm TJ Miracle, Evie Stuber, in studio engineering and producing. Jonathan Allen taking care of our camera tonight. And it'll be the starters on the floor for Hobbs. It'll be Zepeda, Clay, Mojica, Hargrove, and Cunningham. And for the visiting Lady Wildcats, looks like they will be starting off with Villasecas, Chavez Garcia, De La Rosa, Archie, and Goff. So it'll be their starters on the floor as well. Hargrove will take the inbound and into the front court as we flip ends to Zepeda, who cycles it from the right to the left to Mojica, left corner in front of the student section, and bang! Her 6th tray of the night as Mojica picks up right where she leaves off. Push it forward, get it to Garcia, and she's going to get fouled. No, she traveled. So that'll be turnover number 23 for Clovis. 22 turnovers in the first half. And a quick one here. If Hobbs can capitalize, this one could get to running clock territory in a hurry. To Clay, top of the arc. Brett pulls the three-point trigger. That one no good, and it'll be Archie with the rebound. That will be her 5th. Under pressure in the backcourt. Slides it over to Villasecas. Villasecas back to Archie. Hobbs on him very tight in a 10-second violation. Turnover number 24 for Clovis. Flip it around for the Lady Eagles. Good defense. Let's see if it can trigger the offense. Hargrove to Clay. To Zepeda in front of the student section. Now back to Hargrove. Hargrove takes it into the lane but loses the dribble. Turnover for the Lady Eagles, but then Hobbs will take it right back. Mojica up and in. Mojica with 22 points. Nakaya Mojica saying, hey, you know what? We're having some problems. I got big shoulders. Over to Archie, and she slid the pivot foot. And another turnover for Clovis. 25 now for the Lady Wildcats. They're just having all kinds of heck. It's Coach Jeff Reed over to my right, just arms folded and head shaking. Into Cunningham on the inbound, and Kendall is up and in off the glass. Kendall with 6. And just like that, it is a 31-point Hobbs lead. They want to get this one to running clock, I got a feeling. To Villasecas, she'll take it in, and Cunningham blocks her from behind and adds to her total. Stays Clovis basketball, but Cunningham, good control with the arm and the body to get nothing but hand. De La Rosa into Archie, top of the arc. Cunningham and Zepeda to her quickly. Inside to Goff from the left baseline, and up and in for Goff. That'll be her first bucket of the ball game. 42-11, and timeout taken by Coach Reed. So it'll be a 30-second timeout, and the first timeout taken by either team. Hobbs up 42-11. We'll take a moment. Thank our friends over at Lee County State Bank, Lasco, Divine Energy, Hobbs Express, Thriftway and La Tienda, Master Plumbers, Eunice Pump and Supply, Bel Air Bowling, Cannon Safety, TDS Telecom, First American Bank of Hobbs, Forest Tire, Badger Services, and NMR Pipeline, making Hobbs Lady Eagle basketball possible and making it to where we never have to charge you to watch your kids and your teams play, never have to beg you for donations. Be sure you thank those sponsors if you see them. Thank them for bringing you and making it possible for Lady Eagle basketball, and thank them with your business as well. So out of the Clovis timeout, back into the Lady Eagles' hands with 6.5 minutes to go. Clovis will drop back 2-3 defense. To Hargrove, moves it over, now to Zepeda. Zepeda takes it to the left base, goes through, puts it off for Mojica, right wing, and that one will be off the mark, and it'll be Archie with another rebound. That's her 6th. To De La Rosa, Villasecas runs into Hargrove, then loses the basketball out. Bren poked it away and into Taskervich almost. The ref stopped it from going in a tuba, I think. As Chavez Garcia will inbound it into the backcourt to De La Rosa. De La Rosa picked up the dribble and then traveled as she was trying to find a little room. Another turnover for Clovis. But Hobbs has had all kinds of heck capitalizing. Zepeda from just to the right of Taskervich will get it in to Hargrove. Hargrove will bring it up over the big flying H at center court. Back to Hargrove, back to Mojica. Bounce it into the right base to Clay. Off of the tip, winds up in the hands of Zepeda. Flipping it out. Hargrove to the high post. No look pass to Cunningham. Turns around. Puts up the shot. No good. Kendall gets her own rebound, and then she is going to get tied up. 9th rebound for Cunningham, and with the tie-up, it'll go Clovis's way. Turnover for the Lady Eagles with 5.5 to go. As Clovis will send some reinforcements in as Petner comes in. Dawson will check in, and Cordova will check in. Cordova, averaging nearly 12 points a game, has been held to just a bucket in the first half. As they are going to take Goff out and leave Archie in. A little confusion over who's doing what here for the team in purple and silver. The inbound to Petner. Petner with a little room. Gets it around to Archie. Didn't know what to do with it. Now loses the basketball and into the hands of Cunningham. Another turnover for Clovis. Cunningham to Hargrove. Hargrove thinks about the three, gets it back to Kendall in the post. Then he'll push it out, and she's pushed from behind. They're going to whistle that one, I think, on Dawson. We'll see for sure. Nope, it's going to be on Archie. That'll be her third personal. First team foul on Clovis. As Archie checks out, Goff will check in. And Mojica to inbound it from the left baseline. Mojica tosses it into Hargrove. Hargrove to the right block, uses up the dribble, flips it around to Clay. Clay will take it into the paint, puts up a little 10-foot push shot, no good. She'll wind up with her own rebound, and Hobbs will reset. Back in the hands of Clay to Hargrove. Petner giving her a little bit of room, push it over to Mojica. Now throw the fastball in, the no-look pass to Zepeda, left corner for three, in and out. And it'll be Dawson with the rebound, her first, but Hobbs on her tight. Picks up the dribble, and then a whistle sounds as Zepeda getting a little bit too active under there. First personal on Madison, first team foul on Hobbs. As it'll be a hockey line change, looks like, for the Lady Eagles. As coming in for Hobbs, you've got Addison Everhart, Aliana Armitage, Carolina Size, Caselyn Muniz, and Alana Bolton. So the hockey line change for Coach Karp with 4:50 to go here in the third quarter. Dawson across the timeline. Armitage nearly picks her pocket. It'll wind up in the hands of De La Rosa. She drives in against Armitage and puts up a shot, no good. Or rather against Bolton, so that'll be the first personal on Atlanta. Second team foul on Hobbs, and it'll put De La Rosa back at the line for two. De La Rosa 1 of 2 from the free throw line. Puts up her first, and it is good. 40-12 now the score. 28-point lead for the Lady Eagles. 5 in the books for De La Rosa. Made the first, puts up the second, and that one's good. So now 40-13. Hobbs still in control as Size brings it across the timeline into the front court. Size hands it off to Muniz in front of the student section. Muniz will take it left to right. To Armitage. Tries to split through 4 Lady Wildcats. Is blocked, but gets it right back in her hand, and then she is going to be held on to. Is it going to be on Goff, or is it going to be on De La Rosa? I think they're going to call that on De La Rosa. That'll be her third personal. Second team foul on Clovis. It is on the floor. As the inbound will come in from Everhart. Then to Size, spins away from Petner, then to Armitage, now out. 3 on the way. That one is off the mark for Everhart, and the rebound going to be brought down by Dawson. Dawson gets it to Petner in the front court. She'll hand it off to De La Rosa. De La Rosa to Cordova. She'll take it and then give it to Goff in the right baseline. Goff shot up, no good, fighting for it, and out of bounds. Size thought she had it. And then thought she got bumped, but no call, so it'll be Dawson to inbound it. As Weaver will check into the game. Comes in for De La Rosa, who takes a break at the halfway mark of this third quarter. So Cordova will push it into Dawson at the left block. And then work it around, and Aliana Armitage swipes it away, gets the steal, looks around, puts up and misses the point-blank shot. Ball is going to be loose on the court, still loose on the court, and it'll be Everhart who pushes it out, gets it into Armitage, and Aliana doesn't miss again. She's got 4 in the ball game. Pushing it through now, Clovis back the other way with Cordova. Everhart on her pretty tight, gets it to Petner. Now they try and throw it into Goff and taken away by Bolton. Another turnover. Get it forward to Everhart to Armitage. Up off the glass and good. As Armitage will cash in once again, and now Hobbs up by 31. Dawson looks to get it in. She will to Petner, and instead we will have a 5-second violation. And that is 30 turnovers for Clovis. Owie. As Clovis sends in some more reinforcements with Morales checking in. Everhart will push it into size. Back up at the top of the arc. Hand it off to Armitage. She'll cycle left to right. Goes around Morales, who just checked in. Takes it on the baseline, now out to Size, left wing. That one is going to be partially tipped on the way up, but Armitage will come away with it, and Hobbs will reset, but a bad pass, turnover, as Morales comes back through, as Armitage went superwoman, almost got the basketball, instead wound up 3 rows deep into Taskovich, and then it'll be a steal anyway off of the block by Everhart. Everhart bouncing to Armitage. Armitage into the paint, shot up, and they're going to say she traveled before she got it off. Ugh. And now a hockey line change once again for the Lady Eagles as the starters will check back in. The bench came in and did what they needed to do, though. They got a little run going and gets Hobbs up by 31 points. Great to have you with us tonight. Eagle 100.5, Lee County News and Sports YouTube, HobbsAmerica.com. Bad pass and another turnover for Clovis as Cunningham will bring it back into the offensive zone to Clay. Thinks about it from the left wing. Now hippity hop through the lane. Puts up a short arm one, and it'll be into the hands of Villaseca. Her first rebound. She'll bring it into the offensive zone for Clovis. Gives it to Morales. 2:10 to go here in the third. Morales throwing it in, and another turnover into the hands of Clay. Brett keeps it herself. A little hesitation move and lets Morales flash by her. 8 points for Brett Clay, and now 46-13 in favor of the Lady Eagles. To Cordova. She'll bring it down, almost loses it off of her foot, and then gets it tangled up with Clay. Zapata got to her quickly off of Hobbs. Stays Clovis ball on the near side. So on the inbound, Cordova will take it in, gets it to Morales. Toss it into the deep left corner. Or Villaseca now to the left baseline with Goff. Turnaround, gets her own rebound. She'll take it back up, puts up a shot, no good. And battling for it is Weaver. She'll get the rebound in the bucket. Now 46-15, 90 seconds and all the way back down. And Bryn Hargrove, welcome to the scorebook, young lady. 48-15 as Hargrove drives it home. Full court presses on for the Lady Eagles. It's another turnover for Clovis to Zapata up and in. Madison Zapata with 5 points. And now the defense triggering the offense as Coach Reed takes the timeout with 1:10 remaining here in the third quarter. Hobbs 50, Clovis 15. Running clock when we come back on Eagle 100.5. Out of the Clovis timeout, Hobbs has gone on a spurt and has stretched this out to a 35-point lead. It will be running clock time as Goff will get it into Dawson. Dawson will push it over, gets it into the front court to Garcia. Garcia almost loses it, picks up the dribble and will have to save it out to De La Rosa. 1 minute to go in the third. Bad pass and into the hands of Brett Clay. Brett bouncing it forward to Hargrove. Hargrove with the underhand scoop and count the bucket and the foul, and she gets hammered by De La Rosa. Fourth personal on De La Rosa. But Hargrove with her fourth point of the ball game. That'll be the fourth on De La Rosa. As Hargrove, I think, checking the grill there to make sure she's still got all the pearly whites. A little surprised they did not call a flagrant on that. But we are in running clock time. And it is an and one, 52-15 the score. As one of the refs making sure, oh, we've got a timeout on the court. We had a souvenir basketball coming, and the and one from Bryn is up, and it is good. 5 points for Hargrove in this quarter with 7 with 6, and it'll be almost stolen away on the inbound as they go over Cunningham, and Zepeda almost gets to it, and that will expire the third quarter. We head to the fourth. Hobbs 53, Clovis 15. We're back in a minute for the fourth as Lady Eagle basketball continues here on Eagle 100.5. Back here for the start of the fourth quarter, the Lady Eagles outscoring Clovis 20-6 in the third. And we are into running clock territory with Hobbs now up by 38 points. It'll be Hobbs basketball to start it. Starters out there, Clay, Hargrove, Mojica, Cunningham, and Zepeda. That was Hargrove to Zepeda. Trying to get it into Cunningham, and Kendall will be in a battle for it with Goff. Flips it out to Hargrove, and then they're going to call the foul on Archie. They're going to call the push as that knocked Hargrove off the ball. Archie, that'll be her fourth personal. And that will be the first team foul on the quarter, and they just teed up somebody. Did they tee up Joey for something? Oh, they just teed up the Coach Reed. And so it'll be Nakaya Mojica to head to the line to shoot the Tex, and that'll go in the books as another turnover for Clovis, too. Coach Reed not a happy camper, but the ref not wasting any time teeing him up. So now Mojica at the line to shoot the Tex, and she gets the first one. She's got 23, and now Hobbs up by 39. And, of course, because we are in running clock, I think the clock technically should have stopped before the first shot, but okay. Second one up for Mojica, and Nakaya gets them both. So now Hobbs up by 40 with 6:45 to go here in the ball game. With running clock, it is going to go quick. Of course, after a technical or a flagrant, it will go into the hands of the team that shot the free throws, and so you've got Coach Reed. He's out, and he's barking at the other official. He gets another technical. That means he is out, and he'll have to sit out their next game, too. An official not putting up with anything. So into the front court, get it on to Clay. Clay to Zepeda from the left corner for three. That one off the mark. And Mojica saying, all right, I'll take the rebound, and then we'll reset. Cunningham drives in to Zepeda. Now flip it back out to Clay from the right wing. Clay, that one is off the mark, and the rebound by Archie. But then trying to tie her up. Hobbs has three girls on her, looking for some help. She'll finally get it from Ziasekis to De La Rosa, tossing it cross court. Clovis into the front court with 6 minutes to go, and Hobbs a 40-point lead. Line change coming in for the Lady Eagles. Garcia looking for some room, gets a screen from Goff. She'll take it hard to the rack. Shot up, no good. And then it'll be saved in to Goff, who winds up laying it in off of a good hustle play by Chavez Garcia. To Clay. to Cunningham, and then a bad bounce pass. 12th turnover for Hobbs. Chavez Garcia will weave it back into the front court. Now she'll pull it up near the timeline with 5:25 remaining in the contest. The Lady Eagles comfortably in control. And think about Clovis. They are never going to stop, though. You know that for a 100% fact. Chavez Garcia will take it from in front of the scorer's table to in front of Taskovich. Mojica keeps an eye on her. They'll give it to De La Rosa, who bounces the ball off of the face of Kendall Cunningham and into the hands of Zepeda. Give it to Clay, as Clay will take it up and home. 10 points for Brett Clay, and Hobbs back up by 40. So it'll be Villaseca to the front court with De La Rosa. De La Rosa going to direct traffic. He looks for some room, picks up the dribble, trying to bounce it back. Somehow it'll be saved by Garcia. And then a whistle sounds. 30-second timeout taken by Coach Jeff Reed with 4:37 to go here in the ball game. Hobbs comfortably ahead, 57-17. We'll just keep it right here. This is Hobbs Lady Eagle basketball on KEJL. Humble City Hobbs, K263 AZ Hobbs. Eagle 100.5, the Eagle 100.5 Hobbs app. Also on the Lee County News and Sports YouTube channel and HobbsAmerica.com. Big thanks to all of those great sponsors. If you're watching on Lee County News and Sports or Hobbs America, those folks you see at the bottom of your screen make it possible for us to do these games and never have to charge you to watch your kids and your teams play or beg you for donations. And we appreciate those folks, and we hope you show them your appreciation as well. So out of the Clovis timeout, the line changes come in for the Lady Eagles. You got Everhart, Armitage, Muniz, Bolton, and Size on the floor for the Lady Eagles. Chavez Garcia to the front court. Muniz on her. Around to Cordova. And then flip it back over to Garcia. She'll cycle through, picks it up in front of the free throw line, and a foul going to get called on Hobbs. Should be on the floor. I think it may be on Armitage. Yep, they're going to call that on Aliana. That'll be her second personal, just the first team foul on the Lady Eagles. De La Rosa will come, toss it in from the near side, gets it into Cordova back at the timeline. Works against Armitage, then sets a screen. But Muniz just goes right around it. They'll give it back to De La Rosa. She drives in, and a foul going to be called, and they will point to the floor as they're going to call that one on Muniz. Caselin's third personal, second team foul on the Lady Eagles. And so Cordova will come over to throw it in. She'll get it in. That one is tipped on the way through, and Bolton not able to hang on to it as they'll get it to Goff off of the assist. And Goff now with 6 in the ball game. Push it into the corner to Everhart. Back out to Muniz. Get around to Size. To Muniz. They're just going to play keep away with 3:20 to go and running clock. To Armitage. Works it through. Goes through the middle. And, almost loses it, but Everhart will pick it up. Muniz will go in, put up a little underhand scoop shot up. No good. And Archie with another rebound. That'll be her 8th. So into the front court comes Clovis with 3 minutes remaining. Clock running. Hobbs up by 39. 38. I'll learn how to do math at some point. Into the corner with Archie. Picks up the dribble. Back to Chavez Garcia. Then over to Goff. Left baseline air ball, but Archie will pick it up and then get blocked. And back down come the Hobbs Lady Eagles to Armitage, and up and in for Aliana. She's got 8. And Hobbs back up by 40. So Clovis will bring it back down. 2.5 to go. Hobbs will improve to 21-1 on the season, and they will call a foul. The hand fighting, Archie and Everhart going at it. That'll be her first personal. Third team foul on Hobbs. Clock continues to move. Size, Bolton, Armitage, Muniz, and Everhart on the floor for the Lady Eagles. Get it into the deep right corner, and then Hobbs will try and trap up Cordova, who wisely just kind of flings it off of the leg of Bolton. So out of bounds as Cordova comes out. As Chavez Garcia back into the ball game. It'll be De La Rosa to flip it in from the joint of the floor. With the sideline meets and a bad pass. Another turnover for Clovis. Bringing it back down is Everhart. She puts up an underhand scoop shot. No good, but she's fouled. She'll head to the line for 2. They're going to call that one on Villaseca. Her second personal. It'll be the third team foul on Clovis. As it looks like Rivera and Navarro ready to check in for Hobbs. So Everhart at the line, a chance to get in the scorebook. She's already got a rebound, and now she's got a point. 60-19, Lady Eagles in the lead. As Katie Godwin also coming in for the Lady Eagles. As Bryn Petner comes in, I think they're taking as much time as they can. Is waiting on it. So Everhart at the line. Gets the free throw. 50 seconds to go. Clock continues to move. And the second one will rattle home. 61-19. Lady Eagles now up. Or did they call the lane violation? And the whistle sounds as timeout going to be taken by Clovis. So 39 seconds to go. And yeah, I guess they called a lane violation on that second free throw. Darn it. I'll have to go take that one off the board, but Lady Eagles comfortably in control. Of course, after tonight, the Lady Eagles will have a week off, and then we will head to the Cavern. Next Friday night, Hobbs Lady Eagles, Carlsbad Cave Girls. This district will continue on the road. We'll be on the air from Carlsbad. Should be around 6:45 next Friday night. Tip-off slated for 7 o'clock. Of course, we've got a full slate of Lee County High School basketball for you next week. Of course, we cover Hobbs, Lovington, Eunice, Tatum, Jowl, boys and girls. Everybody in district now. And just keep an eye on HobbsAmerica.com and our station Facebook pages for all of the latest. Of course, more games going on tonight. The Hobbs boys are in Clovis tonight in a battle up at Rock Staubach Gym. Then you've got Jowl taking on Texaco up at Texaco. Lovington playing Artesia. Lovington boys were up earlier. So that's always a heck of a matchup up there. And tomorrow, Eunice will be taking on Dora. So a lot of basketball this weekend with 30 seconds to go, 35 seconds to go. Petner to the front court. Bolton keeping an eye on her. She goes to the right baseline. Will sling it out to Morales. Almost losing it. Rivera hand fighting with her in there as Petner picks up the dribble, and then Ramirez. Rodriguez will get it. Rivera, I'll get it right eventually. Now to Petner. She'll drive in, put it high off the glass. No good. And Godwin with the rebound. And to Rivera. Rivera with 9 seconds to go is just going to dribble this one out. Hop it over to Navarro. Now to Bolton. Bolton back out to Rivera, and that will do it. And the Hobbs Lady Eagles are victorious tonight. Our final, Hobbs 60 and Clovis 19. Hobbs Lady Eagles will improve to 21-1 on the year. More importantly, 2-0 in district, and drop Clovis to 18-4, 1-1 in district. We'll be back in 2.5 minutes to wrap this one up. Hobbs Lady Eagle basketball continues in a moment. Back here at Tasker Arena, your Lady Eagle postgame show as Hobbs victorious tonight over Clovis, our final 60-19. I'm TJ Miracle, Jonathan Allen on camera tonight, Evie Stuber engineering and producing. As we take a look at the final numbers of this one for Clovis, their leading scorers were Carrington Goff and Amanda De La Rosa, each with 6 points in the game. 3 points for McKenna Weaver, 2 points for Andrea Chavez Garcia, and then 2 points for Gianna Cordova, and that is all the scoring for Clovis. Their leading rebounder was Katie Archie. She had 8 in the game, 27 rebounds as a team for Clovis. They actually tied Hobbs in that category. But let's see, what else we got? 4 of 8 from the free throw line, so Clovis missing some opportunities from the stripe, and 39 turnovers. The Hobbs Lady Eagle defense really kept them ahead and up in this one and gave them a whole lot more opportunities than they gave Clovis. Turning the page for your Lady Eagles, 2 Lady Eagles in double figures tonight. It was the Nakaya Mojica show, as Nakaya with 24 points in the ballgame, 6 of those coming from beyond the arc. Huge game for Nakaya Mojica. 10 points for Brett Clay. Then you had 6 points in the books for Kendall Cunningham, 5 for Bryn Hargrove, 5 for Madison Zapata. Aliana Armitage also with 6 points in the ballgame, and then a point for both Addison Everhart and Caselyn Muniz. Leading rebounder was Cunningham. She had 9. Clay with 7 in the ballgame, but just 27 rebounds as a team for Hobbs. Clovis really picked up their rebounding in the second half and tied the Lady Eagles off of the glass. Hobbs goes 9 of 11 from the free throw line, so very efficient there, a little bit above their season average. 12 turnovers, but in the end of the day, it really didn't hurt them very much. 15 in the first, 18 in the second, 20 in the third, and 7 in the fourth and final quarter for the Hobbs Lady Eagles. So with the win, as I mentioned, Hobbs will improve to 21-1 on the year, 2-0 more importantly in district, and they'll drop Clovis to 18-4 and 1-1 in district. So Hobbs in complete control of its own fate now, and they did just decide to change that and make it 61. I thought for sure it was, so now change the book. Addison Everhart with 2 in the ball game. So I thought I saw them wave it off, but they did not. So our final 61-19. I wish they'd make up their minds. Of course, next up for your Hobbs Lady Eagles, they will be on the road next Friday night. No game on Tuesday, a week off with just the 4 teams in the district, so a week off for this one. Hobbs will travel to the Cave City, Carlsbad, next Friday night. We will be on the air at about 6:45 with your Lady Eagle pregame show, the tip-off slated for 7 o'clock. So hope to see you there. And with that, my friends, we will put a wrap on this one. A slow start for the Lady Eagles, but the defense and the three-point accuracy of Nakaya Mojica, and then the offense waking up and stretching it out. Hobbs has the 61-19 victory. Hobbs Lady Eagle basketball on Eagle 100.5, brought to you by Lee County State Bank, Lasco Construction, Divine Energy, Hobbs Express, Thriftway in La Tienda, Master Plumbers, Eunice Pump and Supply, Bel Air Bowl, Cannon Safety, TDS Telecom, the First American Bank of Hobbs, Forest Tire Company, Badger Services, and NMR. For Dawn Morgan on assignment tonight, for Jonathan Allen on camera, for Evie Stuber in studio engineering and producing, I'm TJ Miracle saying so long from legendary Ralph Tasker Arena. This has been an exclusive presentation of Eagle 100.5 and New Allmark Digital. Good night, everybody. Have a great weekend.